Grant here from 21 Wise here to talk about or ask you, what is your value? Or how are we going to find your value, okay? So just know value is very subjective. My perspective is value is just a validation from an outside source, right? So let's go over to an egg. So what do you think value is right now? A lot of people are thinking of a currency, right? Money, cash, money, green. This green does not work. That's okay. We'll just change it up. Alright? We'll go back to the old reliable purple. So you got currency that we're probably thinking of value. Oh, this car is worth this much. My dozen of eggs is so highly priced now. So let's go with an egg, right? So money. Let's have an egg here. Let's say the egg is $1.20 for a dozen. I wish, maybe it is now. So, okay, do the math. For a dozen, $1.20, each egg is worth 10 cents. The value of that egg on a price, that's a pretty goddamn good deal. I find good value in the deal. Okay, cool. But what else do I find value in that egg from the outside source of that egg? Well, it brings me options to create ingredients for a cake or baked goods or other foods. It's a food source in itself. It gives me energy. It gives me things that I can't buy off a shelf. I can't buy energy for my... Well, you can't buy the words. You can't buy the feeling. You can't buy... You can buy a bed, but you can't buy sleep. I hope that kind of brings it in, okay? So we put value on this egg on the outside self, but we never asked the egg, what do you think your value is? And if that egg could talk, it'd probably say some crazy ass shit like, well, fuck, I'm a nurturer. I sacrifice myself for my own giving of life for you to eat and have life for yourself. I grow. I take the labor of my host, my mama. Like, I'm alive. Like, I am real. I am everything. I give you everything. That egg just gave me all this worth, all this woo-woo. I call that woo-woo shit. All that woo-woo. So much woo-woo, I didn't write all that down because the egg was, it felt what it was, right? So with all that, the egg tells me, holy shit, you're a pretty big deal. And I know you're a big deal. But you're only 10 cents to me. That's your value to me. That hurts that egg's worth, right? So where the fuck am I going with this? A value on something is just an outside perspective and source. It's even in the word. So we got value here. If you take away that U and just add a V, you have a VAL. So you're turning on information. You're giving more energy. You're making more eggs. And the supply and demand. You're putting that valve on and you're shooting all these eggs to people, which devalues the worth of that individual. That one egg that told you everything about its story means nothing because there's so many like them, right? So let's turn that valve off and put the U back in it. And really, the value is just a validate. It's just a validation. It's just a validation. Like, when I put my worth out there and that's how much I receive and that's the value I get, I'm being validated. And then validate, it's V. So I'm just going to keep val in my mind as energy. I is self. Then date could be time, right? How much energy are you putting into yourself with your time? That's how you're going to make your own value of price. So your val is going to be your energy. How do you put a price on your energy? Well, how do you value it? How do you push it? Are you good with time management? Ask other people, how do they view you how do they view your energy? And if it's something that's not normal, that's value in itself. I is worth, right? This is my equation for worth. It's woo-woo plus growth. All that woo-woo, all that experience you had in your life, your beliefs, your systems that made you positively involved, And it's all that stuff, all those little hobbies you have, everything you put through life, picked and puzzled, that went and made you grow. That's yourself. That is your worth. How do you put money on that? Then date and time. You value your time. Do you want to work 60 hours a day? Or did it take you 30 years to understand this woo-woo? Right? So I value my time. Oh, I'm 31. I think I'm worth $1 million, but how can I divide that up in days? Well, maybe $1 million divided up in 31 years. You know, maybe that's my worth. I don't know. You can't really put a number to this, but if you want to sell yourself, just kind of look on the outside, validate. If you align yourself to your worth and growth, and you're true to who you are in yourself, and project yourself out, people will see the value in you. So date, we'll just put like time. Isn't that crazy how words just kind of like tell you the answers? All right, let me recap because I had it in my head and then I jiggle jabbled, okay? What is value? Value is just a validation from an outside source. This poor egg is not worth 10 cents. It's worth a lot more. It's worth its growth. It's worth its nature. It's worth its evolve. It's worth its principle. It's worth its purpose, okay? So I'm not going to start like a mob saying like, give that egg rights and give him his worth, you know? Because I want 10-cent eggs too. It just depends on what box you're thinking in, right? But when I'm bringing this up, so let's say you go off on your own adventure and you want to start negotiating your pay at work, you want to start negotiating pay for your business and your service, just look at the validation method, okay? Understand your self-worth and understand that value is not what, it's an outside perception. So you might think you're worth a $20 an hour job, but all the other things in your validation suggests that you're worth $50 an hour. Or you're making $50 an hour, but you have a shit poor attitude, you should really be making no money. Right? So just let's validate. Value is just validation. Energy, your worth, and time. Figure it out. You got this. I love you. In short, understand your worth. Sit down, write it down. What you value yourself, what you can offer out in the world, and try to align your worth to your value, okay? Have a great day. Hope this was helpful. I'll see you around.